Okie doke, here we go, Friday night footy. I think this is going to be the match of the round. This is Manly taking on the Roosters. Both teams in okay form. They are at the pointy end of the ladder, but I don't know which one this way to go. I think this is a toss of the coin for me, this one. I thought the Roosters forward pack is one of the best, and you look at the Manly halves, and obviously Jamie Lyon in there, they're pretty good as well. So, toss of the coin, I'm going to go to Manly. Manly just in a tight one. And the other Friday night game is the Broncos taking on the Sharks. I think this is going to be a one-sided affair. Broncos, easy victory there. Sharks, I think Q is almost in the rack. Gal's come out and said a few things this week to hopefully try and inspire the boys for a victory, but I don't think it's going to be enough, so Broncos there. Alrighty, Saturday's games are the Tigers taking on the Raiders. Tedesco facing up against Ricky Stewart this week, I suppose we could say that. Could be interesting. Whether or not the Raiders get stuck into Tedesco or not, we'll just have to wait and see. But I think it's going to be a Tigers victory there late in the game. So Tigers for me. Alrighty, the other Sunday game is the Cowboys taking on the Rabbits. This will be a good game as well. South Sydney forward pack, that's all I can say really. They're just being so dominant. If they control the ball, they just steamroll the opposition. Cowboys, they're starting to gel, they're starting to find their feet. And they've got JT's almost back to his best, but I honestly think South Sydney forward pack is just the way they dominate games. I'll see a victory there for the Bunnies. Okay, Sunday's games, we've got the Warriors taking on the Panthers. Warriors came off a good win last week against the Broncos. Panthers are still going very well up the top of the table there. This will be a good game also, but I like the Warriors over in New Zealand, and I think they'll be too strong for the Panthers. And the other Sunday game at PIRTEK Stadium sees the mighty Parramatta Eels taking on the Newcastle Knights. And I'm going to go easy one, the Eels here. Knights are really starting to struggle a bit. And the Eels disappointing last week against Melbourne. Look for things to change there, so Eels for me there. And Monday's game to finish up the round is the Dragons up against the Melbourne Storm. Dragons starting to get things going. They looked really good last weekend. Benji Marshall's getting tackled with the ball, which I think is good signs. They're playing a nice, short, direct game. Melbourne Storm, look what they did to the Eels last week. We know well and truly they're back. Cameron Smith even said, with Origin done and dusted with, they can really focus on Melbourne Storm in the rest of the season. So look out, St George Illawarra Dragons. I think it's going to be a Melbourne victory there. So they're my tips for round 16, brought to you by round8.com. By the fans, for the fans, and I will see you next week.